bike, I think it's a bit more, if you're just starting out.
It's just nice, like
potato salad, edamame, garlic, fried rice.
So that everyone can, you don't need to go campsite, you can enjoy the camping view. Alright, so okay, so cafe is our kitchen is open, our bar is open. So if you need any food, any drink, right, just ask that from our staff here. Alright, so without further ado, I'd like to invite Eka and Nadiah.
Welcome everybody. If you came for the first session, welcome back. But it's nice to see a whole different crowd today. I'm not sure if there are some latecomers, but we're just going to start anyway. So we are Marketing Tales, as Derek has already introduced us. This is Eka. I'm Nadiah. So to start with, this is how we actually started. We started with only bikes in Japan in 2016. So this has been about almost 10 years of bike travel. To get to it, we had to use trains. So at the start of our tour, we had to take our ponies on trains from Kyoto to Kanazawa, and then right at the end from Akaoka to Takayama, which is a mountainous area, and then back to Tokyo before we came back to Japan. Sounds having us unpacking. So we were unpacking and we would just straightway right out of the station. So this is great. And they actually, funny enough, this service was actually in existence since the colonial era. It's just a lot of people didn't know about it. Because back in the day, it wasn't motorbikes, it was bicycles. So you can go from that. Okay. So in terms of boats and ferries, I think everybody knows the Langkawi Roro and the Pinang Roro. A lot of cyclists are quite familiar with it. There's the Bangko ferry, which is a passenger ferry. You can't sit with your bikes, but they still allow it on board. Boat transfers are a little bit tricky because they're usually like kampong transport. I think the most famous one for Kiatay is 78, which is what the gravel cycle. People who have contacts within KPM, hello. And the last story that we heard is they may consider bikes on board the ETS once they go out of the warranty period.
But in this case, where the cargo space is a lot smaller, it is still possible. Both of the wheels come off, and then we have rubber or Velcro straps. You just make sure everything is tightly bound together so it doesn't slide around. So when the bus stops and you go to the station, you just get the whole entire thing out. So this is basically any bus, any express.
Probably one of the best options that you can get if you have a normal bicycle.
Yeah, so if you have a normal bicycle that's maybe size 53, 54, it will fit inside this case no problem. The only thing that you have to do is remove the fork at the handlebar, which is not that difficult. It's just like three bolts. So it does take a little bit of mechanical know-how, but once you get that, you can basically take everything apart.
We just use a cardboard box. I don't want to. We have used it before. Now, a normal bike case, we've used a couple of these because before the pandemic, I was working for Cycling Plus Malaysia magazine. So we got to test out quite a few cases. And they're great. And post in a case, very compact. You can post each case. I think it's like 100 kilometers. So at least the option is there. So if you're traveling to Japan, we go back. I'm gonna get one of those. I think Ram had one over there, right? Same one bell. One bell. Yeah! So it's not easy, but it's possible. So it's prepared for you. Another thing we love if you ask me, was maybe a little bit more interesting than the Shimami Kaido because there are a lot of heritage spots along the way. If you notice, the three of us.
That one's an interesting one.
This one was.
If you like history.
You like history? You might find this interesting because this is where you had.
And they're like, oh, this time.
Yeah. So some trains allow full bikes, some trains allow bikes that are like almost like the Japan style, and some stations don't allow bikes to be wheeled up. So the staff are generally pretty helpful. So it's pretty. I don't remember what it was. It was quite a while ago. This was before the pandemic. So very nice to do Korea as well. The trains continuous, and these are the bike lanes. I know it's quite famous. We did Seoul to Busan. We did Busan to Seoul. Touched down in Incheon. Took a train. Posted our kit. The next one is the emergency kit.
Ah, man.
Minutes. So we have antiseptic spray. Go for Neosporin. It doesn't hurt. Like breathing. It's for kids. I tested it out because I'm a bit of a wuss when it comes to sprays. Because we had a couple of situations where we arrived and there was no dinner. Really no dinner, and we were in the mountains. And we asked the lady at reception, we were like, there's no dinner. She's like, no, you have to pre-book. And we look at each other, oh shit. And then we're like, is there anywhere we can buy food? Yeah, 30 kilometers away. Like you have to go through 2 mountain passes.
I think everyone has a lot of questions to ask, right?
Oh.
A lot of questions, right? Those who ask questions, the first 6 have free gift. So by all means, if you have any question, just raise your hand. Eka and Nadiah will answer you
We will
accordingly.
try our best.
Yeah, no problem. Do your best. Right? We got different type of special keychain.
Oh, this is a very good question. We use a combination of different apps because if you just use one, say for example, you just use it for
Oh yeah, my brother just went through that road. I'm like, okay, that explains it. So basically, as many questions as you have when you are on location, that's the most important. Ask the locals if the road is open. And then the other one is just use multiple apps.
The experience on the road, like whatever, or like a moment where
Do you guys know who Ram is?
You can ask me plenty of questions too.
Yeah. So I've been telling him that actually Ram is also pretty otai. So if you want to walk anybody else into a sharing session, he's one. Sorry. Okay. To sell you a bit.
How do you go about sort of, do you buy insurance when you go abroad? Is that like your typical travel insurance or is that something special? That's number one. Number two is in your travels in Taiwan, how much of it is camping? How much of it is sort of staying in hostels, guest houses, hotels, that sort of thing? And how do you go about booking, or do you go day by day and book it day by day? How do you go about that?
There's 3 questions, right?
I suppose the most basic one is your flight insurance, because that usually covers a fair bit. But we do have personal medical insurance that extends abroad and also covers emergency repatriation. So that I think is important. And you also have to look at if it's personal accident or medical, make sure it covers you when you're traveling abroad. The emergency repatriation I think is quite important. It may not cover damage, but if you get something like I believe yes, micro insurance can actually cover you when you're abroad. There are a few companies that do it locally, but like for example Allianz, they don't cover international travel. It's only local, right? So there are some people who use World Nomads. We've never tried it. We have just been lucky that we haven't had any emergency situations that needed anything specific. In our friend's case, the damage was actually covered by her, well, there was no damage to her bike.
It was the person.
It was the
Lambat.
On the right side left.
Okay, selesai sudah sharing session Nadia dan Eka. Okay, jumpa lagi. Assalamualaikum.